with you, I want to imagine like the internal struggle of like an in the closet footballer, because that's what he experienced. And he said actually like it was extremely difficult to be in locker rooms from a sort of sexual arousal perspective. He was like, they're very gay in the locker rooms. Like he was like, it was felt like a homoerotic like place to be. So he had a big struggle even just like being around his teammates, because at the same time he was like, you know, I'm a gay man being like taunted in these ways. Like, do you think that's true? Do you think there is any sort of like homoeroticism amongst footballers? And
I don't know if that exists in modern football.
no, okay,
Maybe 20 years ago,
yeah,
there would have been a lot more openness in this way. I think now, it's even a thing now in football that a lot of footballers get showered with their sloggies on, which is basically their pants.
right,
So they don't even actually, there are a lot of footballers that don't get naked now in a dressing room.
right, okay,
I think the culture has shifted and changed so much that I don't know if that space is that way. I don't know, because I'm not in that space and I haven't seen it. And I haven't asked those questions to those people that are in that space.
yeah,
Back in my day, if you went in the shower with your pants on, people would take the piss out of you.
Yeah.
What are you fucking doing?
yeah.
Whereas now it's quite common. I think there are the majority of players probably get showered with their pants on. So maybe it's a very different space now.
Yeah. So if we look at like uni, and the culture there amongst these sports teams was extremely like gay. Like, you know, I was in the closet at uni and found it very challenging actually, because these like rugby lads for initiations were like doing something called the elephant walk, which is where they all get naked, they grab each other and they walk up the tallest hill in Bristol, you know, and they call it the elephant walk. It's something they joke. And you know, like part of the initiations are like doing sexual acts to each other, and
Like a fraternity thing.
exactly.
Oh,
So
right.
there's like a lot of this that goes on, which I think from like a gay person looking in on it, like I don't know what your experience of like sort of boyish lad culture is, but have you observed that as well?
Not really. So I had a really tough time when I was growing up at school. So from 11 to 16, didn't really have any friends. So I was bullied really heavily, and I wasn't in a gang. I didn't have mates. I was just on the outside of my school classroom.
Yeah.
That group of people that I went to school with. So I never had the opportunity to have a real childhood and witness those banter sessions and those fraternities and those male bonding things and those kind of teenage hijinks that you perhaps have mentioned there. When I was at Bournemouth, I think there was, if you were on the losing team of a training session, you used to have to run around the pitch naked afterwards. Which
That's
was
quite soft, isn't it?
yeah, but then everyone just put their hand over their crotch and ran round and went back in. That was kind of it. But
yeah.
or you get naked and they spray you with the hose up against the wall. I'm sure there was different things in every football club that was almost wasn't like a homosexual thing. It was just let's embarrass these players because they played badly in training and let's make them look stupid.
Yeah,
as
right.
opposed to anything else. But some of the stuff you've mentioned there, the elephant walk, like that's news to me.
I nearly joined the rugby team just so I could do the elephant
I can
walk.
imagine that. Yeah.
There's so much speculation over when's the gay footballer going to come out, or like, you know, as you're saying, like more people in the industry who are openly gay, as even like pundits or whatever. Could it be that there just aren't like that many gay footballers? Could it be that it does not attract gay men to go into that profession? Or would your perspective be, no, there definitely is, it's just an issue around feeling comfortable enough to come out? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a comfort thing. You know, and I can only talk from myself in terms of how I felt. I was really uncomfortable for the first 7 or 8 years of my TV career about who I was, and I hid it, and I kept my life very clearly in 2 boxes. There was me being gay, happy and comfortable, and there was me at work. And I always felt like I couldn't tell my bosses, I couldn't be open with who I was. I'd be worried about reaction from the players and the fans and going to games and so on and so forth. So I kept that side of my life very quiet and very for me. And then as I got older and I stopped caring about what people thought, and I also got to a point, there were a couple of things that happened, and I was like, you know what? I kind of just need to come out. I think that might be better for me, and it might be better for the industry. And one day, there'll be someone that says, oh, Mark McAdam came out and it really helped me accept myself. And I was in a really dark place at times, and I really struggled with my mental health. And when you get, and I didn't do it, I did it for myself. I came out for myself. But when you get those letters and emails from people that say, you've really helped me, you've really made me feel comfortable, that's where you sit back and go, oh, it was worth it. You know, it was worth it. And by the way, there was nothing to worry about because it was totally fine when I came out, you know.
So do you have people in the industry actually like pulling you to one side on like a sort of social or something, going, I'm struggling with this? Obviously, we're not going to name names. I'm just saying, like, do people reach out to you directly?
They have done in the past, yeah. There has been a number of people that have spoken to me about their sexuality and about how they feel and what to do and what's right and what's wrong. And everyone has that internal conflict about what is the right thing to do and how is it going to affect me moving forward. So I think you constantly get those conversations. Less of them happen now because, again, all right, yeah, we are 10 years down the line and things are very different now, and you can come out and it is less of a big deal in the industry, but it is still a thing. Until there are multiple gay out players at various levels of the footballing pyramid, it will still be a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And is there any sort of internal LGBT club or like, you know, at Sky or at FIFA or whatever like that, where people that work in the industry, regardless of whether you're a player or, you know, even a cleaner and the changing rooms, I just mean, is there any sort of internal system for people to come together?
There is a Sky LGBTQ plus network, where, funny enough, that's been launched only in the last year or so, where I've actually discovered some of the people I worked with regularly found out, oh, I didn't know you were gay, or I didn't know you were a lesbian. I didn't know. So, you know, Sky has put things in place to try and build a community to make people feel accepted. And as you know, this community is growing. It's not just LGBT anymore. There are people that are non-binary. There are people that are transgender. There are people that identify in different ways. And there are other things that are less obvious through appearance, about how you might identify yourself. But it goes back to the question you say, is this because there isn't gay men playing football, working in football? Or is it because there are gay men that still aren't comfortable coming out?
Totally.
And that's the big question, ultimately, I guess.
So what would it do to the industry if a extremely well-known Premier League player at the height of his career came out as gay? In your opinion, what do you think the ripple effect of that would be?
Well, I think it would revolutionise the industry again, more so than Josh Cavallo or Jake Daniels, who have, you know, been really brave to do what they've done. And again, they've changed things. I guess what it will do is it will stop it becoming a thing. I think the more people that come out, the more this is not a conversation. You know, it becomes like, oh, okay, what, another one's come out. Okay, cool. You know, all right, it's been done before and, you know, we don't really care and everyone just gets on with it. And I think the acid test will be those people that come out at the highest level, how they're respected and treated by fans, how they're respected and treated by, you know, 10,000 people in one stand, you know, and those kind of situations will be where you really see how much or how little progress has been made within this game. Now, I know that there has been progress made, and I've seen it with Rainbow Laces. I've seen it with what Sky Sports has done. I've seen it with what football clubs have done, the awareness that they've raised, the profile of the WSL, the women's game, where kind of LGBT thing is not a thing. You know, there are multiple out females playing at the very highest level. Not a big deal, not a problem, not even spoken about really, apart from once a year Rainbow Laces, and then someone will say, oh yeah, I'm a lesbian and this is my partner, and so on and so on. So I think when we get to that space, that's when it will stop becoming an issue. But I think commercially, the biggest sponsors in the game are ready and willing to get involved. You saw with Jake Daniels, Adidas were really quick to say, we want to back you and support you. We want to be a part of your journey and show our faith in LGBTQ plus sports people and footballers. I think the clubs are ready. I think the commercial industry is ready. I think fan bases are pretty much ready. You know, it's just when you get those people that say, hey, this is who I am and I'm cool with that.